Hey guys, welcome to the channel. My name is Rich. The name of the channel is Rich the Return Rider. For all of you guys that's here for the first time, thanks for tuning in. For all of you guys that's return viewers, I appreciate you coming back. For all of you that have subscribed to the channel, appreciate your support. For all of you folks that haven't yet subscribed, hit that subscribe button so we can continue to make some of this content. All right, guys, we're up from Florida. We are here in Pooler, Georgia at the Robert Simmons Be the Boss of Your Motorcycle. And the goal today, first of all, guys, is safety. Secondly, making sure we don't drop Ruby on this session here. To see how far we have come on these practices and how much further we have to go. So what we're doing here today is we got the 2019 Honda Goldwing. This is the manual version. I've got my grandson there, Jamarco, and he is going to be bringing you, we are going to be bringing you some footage of this practice session here from my point of view. Anything that goes wrong with the video recording, we will blame it on Jamarco. All right, guys, again, if you guys want to see this stuff in detail, you can go to the Robert Simmons Be the Boss of Your Motorcycle channel. We hope for a good day, guys. All right, let's get this party started. Let's go. Looking at here, guys, is exercise 1. This is simply starting and stopping at a slow controlled pace using mainly the rear brake on the motorcycle. For anything under 10 miles or so, guys, we are going to be using the rear brake. There's only probably one occasion out here where we will be using both brakes. Again, starting and stopping. Guys, this is a 52-degree day in Pooler, Georgia. It is sunny, but it is a little windy and breezy. You're going to be hearing some noise from the camera. I'm using, for the most part, an Insta360 to do some recording, and I apologize now for some of the background noise that we're going to be hearing. Some of the other footage is going to be coming from my iPhone 13 with my grandson operating it. But anyway, guys, here what we're doing now is we're getting that bike up to second gear, and one of the rare times here that we're going to be using both the brakes. When we get to the slowest part of the ride to stop, we're going to be using the rear brake for control. As you see, guys, a little off balance there. Any mistakes that I make in these practices, I'm going to leave it in the footage, and at some point we're going to be able to talk about some of the mistakes that I'm making. This here, guys, is just the slow ride. And again, something that you can practice as you'll come into a light, just to, establish having control of the motorcycle. Here is Robert Simmons' patented trust and believe. Motorcycle is in first gear, foot is on the rear brake, clutch before the friction zone, and slowly releasing the clutch into that friction zone. And the goal of that is to make sure, or to be comfortable, that as long as there's power going to the rear wheel, the motorcycle will not fall. This here, guys, I think is exercise 4 or 5. And this is just making left and right turns with the motorcycle upright. This is my 5th time coming here. Every time I come, those cones seem to be getting a little taller. Like I explained to Robert, they're growing like my grandson Jamarco. Every time I come, the cones seem to be a little bit taller. So, guys, what you're looking at here is me not executing that stop and making the left turn. Not enough power going to the rear wheel, not enough throttle, a little too much rear brake, and there goes Ruby. So, guys, what I want you to realize here is that for all of you Honda Goldwing riders, sponsored by them, but I did do a video of protecting our motorcycles from going all the way over. And as you can see there, guys, it was even easy to just lift the motorcycle back up because it did not go as far over that as it would have if I just had the stock engine guards on. So again here, guys, right and left turns, what Robert considered to be one of his highest failure rate to execute. Something as simple as making a right and a left turn. Guys, this stuff simulates coming out from a stop sign, traffic, two-way traffic. I mean, there's so many different variations of what this thing simulates. Here is what used to be one of my favorite exercise, guys. This is called the single serpentine. Again, the cones seem to be getting taller every time that I come here. But the cones are 15 feet apart. This is the first exercise that we're going to be using, getting the motorcycle to lean and transition from left to right. As you can see there, I didn't execute this that exercise on the first attempt. Here is the guy on the Indian here from Atlanta. His wife is also on a motorcycle, showing me how it should be done. Yeah, guys, one of the problems there was using a little bit too much rear brake. I approached the first cone into the Serpentine a little too close, and as I got down the course, I actually ran out of space to be able to execute the drill effectively. The Honda Goldwing got extremely sensitive rear brakes, guys, or brakes in general. And one of the things that Robert talks about is us being able to slowly drag our foot over that brake to control it. Here's a guy from Maryland with his wife on the back of the motorcycle. This guy has been awesome, man. I'm going to get an interview at the end of the video talking about this guy's skills, where he has learned to so nicely execute these maneuvers. He has had some specific training, and we'll be talking a little about that. Mario was able to do all of the exercises, including the bonus exercise with his wife on the back of the motorcycle. This guy does ride like a pro, guys. All right, guys, now what we're doing is going to that U-turn. And as you can see there on my first attempt, I took out the cones on the end. I'm assuming I looked at them, a little bit of target fixation. You look at them, you claim them. I looked at them and I ended up hitting them. So guys, the first time I came here, I was unable to execute an 18-foot U-turn. I feel a lot better now with the practice that I've been doing. But there's still some things to learn, and we're going to be talking about that in a little while here with Robert. As you can see there, guys, as I made that U-turn, I kind of swooped over to the left. What Robert is coming over and talking to me about is having the motorcycle in control after I execute the turn. The motorcycle should have been pointing straight ahead. We're going to cover that a little bit more as he comes back over and talk to me about it. So guys, what Robert is getting ready to explain to me here, of course you guys know this is a voiceover, but instead of swooping through the turn where I seem to be losing control of the motorcycle, what he's explaining to me there is I need to be using the friction zone throughout the turns so I always have control of the motorcycle. Again, instead of using speed and momentum through the turn, using the friction zone gives you a lot more control on that U-turn, and that's what he was explaining there. Again, guys, always an opportunity to learn, and that's why I'm here. Here we have Barry, this guy and his wife. She also rides a motorcycle, came all the way from Virginia through some inclement weather, not only to do the anniversary ride, but to get some practice here in on the Sunday. Guys, this is how serious this stuff really is when it comes to training, executing. What you're looking at here, guys, is like I explained to you, this was a 52-degree day in Pooler, Georgia. My grandson did come over to me and explain to me that the camera was starting to fog up. And what we're doing here, guys, is the figure 8 exercise where the motorcycle is always transitioning from right to left. And I am also giving you a view of that exercise here from the iPhone 13 with Jamarco operating it. There's some of the folks here, guys, that was able to execute this drill in 4 parking spaces. I am not that guy yet. But I'm in training, guys, and that's what this is all about. Getting a little bit more comfortable, getting a little bit more confident, but never cocky. I'm going to give myself a cha-ching there, guys. I thought that was pretty well executed. And here again, you know, Robert exercises, he always say his exercises is building on going from one exercise to the next. Here is another exercise here. This is called the offset serpentine, where we are transitioning from the left to the right. Motorcycle is never going straight. We're positioning the motorcycle through the cones in an angle that reduces the amount of lean. Again, he calls it working smarter and not harder. But I did drop my bike in one of the sessions that I did doing this exercise, and that's where I occurred a little bit of bag and mirror damage. So guys, what we're doing here now is we are doing what they call the abdominal snowman. We got circles here, guys, from 27, 25, 22, and 18 feet. Like old Clint Eastwood would say, man, a man's got to know his limitation, guys. I am able to execute the 3 circles. That 18-foot complete circle is not going to be attempted on Ruby, not on this event. Maybe on the next time back, guys. But again, giving you a different angle here of me doing the 27, the 25, and the 22-foot circles of the abdominal snowman. This is, you can see there again, guys, a little too much rear brake. Again, you have to learn to brush that brake instead of stamping on it. What was recommended is that I try to use my toe for the braking as opposed to smashing the throttle with my foot. Anyway, guys, so what we're looking at here is Robert executing what is called the maze, 18-foot turns into an 18-foot circle that they call the keyhole. Now, like I said, guys, man has got to know his limitations. This one is not going to be executed by me or Ruby. Well, anyway, guys, again, the maze into the keyhole executed with Robert on his 2019 Road King Special. So here we go, guys, that guy again. So this is Mario again and his wife doing the maze with his wife on the back into the keyhole. Guys, this was a treat for all of us riders here to see. And as we can see, I think he's on a Yamaha, executed it to perfection. Now, I know they always say, guys, that the motorcycle doesn't matter or don't matter, but Mario seemed to struggle just a little bit going in the opposite direction with his motorcycle. Now I'm going to give you a little bit of information here. What Mario rides as a work motorcycle is similar to Robert's 2019 Road King. So it was offered for him to attempt it on the Road King, and here he is doing the maze into the keyhole absolutely flawlessly with no problem. Now I'm convinced with a little bit more practice, Mario can do this on his motorcycle. On our requests, we asked for him to do it in the reverse angle, and here he is doing it in the reverse. This guy can ride, guys. Hang in, we're gonna have a little conversation about him or with him about why he is so good on a motorcycle. This is the opposite direction with Robert's 2019 Road King Special. All right, guys, now we are going to be doing what they refer to as follow the leader, and what this is one of Robert's last drills or last exercises where all of the riders get to participate. And in this exercise or in this practice session here, we're going to be doing, we have to simulate whatever he does and the way he does it. If you hit a cone, you're out. If you put your foot down, you're out. If you do not make the turn in the dimensions that he makes them, you're out. So here we are, guys, executing the first drill, and this is the single serpentine, cones 15 feet apart. Motorcycle is transitioning from side to side. Oops, it looks like the guy in front of me might be out. So again, the first exercise to follow the leader. It would look like we have lost about 2 riders. Once you are eliminated from the competition, you need to, the thing is to go in the middle, and the other riders will be circling around you. Now, he used to give us a mulligan for making a mistake, you can join the party back in the back of the motorcycles. But with 15 riders and in some cases 17 riders and so forth, he decided that once you make that mistake or that error, you are out of the skilled competition. So here we are circling around the guys that's out, and we are heading to the next exercise. On this part of the exercise, guys, we are now executing that single serpentine again, coming from the opposite direction of the cone. The first one is from the left, this one is from the right. As you can see, that cone is still down, kind of distracted me there a little, but no problem. And we are into the U-turn here. This is, I think, the 27-foot U-turn, no problem. Most of the riders seem to be able to execute that. But somewhere, somehow, we lost a couple more folks that's in the center as we are circling them like vultures. This is fun stuff, guys. And again, it's showing how far I have come from the first time I came here. Until this time, I don't remember. I remember on one of the events that I was here, I will also hit one of those cones in the single serpentine. All right, guys, Robert decided to up the ante here. We are going into a U-turn right now, and this is going to be the 18-foot U-turn going to the left. Boom, no problem. Practice, guys, practice is starting to make me feel a little bit more confident. We look like we have lost a couple more competitors from the competition here in the center. As we are circling around them, guys, they're kind of blowing our horns and acknowledging, hey, better luck next time. Now we are going into something that's a little bit challenging here. We are on the sidewalk. Don't quite know what the dimensions of these sidewalks are, whether they're 4 feet or 6 feet in width. But what you're doing here is you're coming up to that T there and you're making a left turn without going in the grass, without coming off the sidewalk. No problem. Getting a little confident here, guys. I'm also getting a little jiggy with it. All right, now we're gonna go and we're gonna make that similar kind of a turn over to the right on the sidewalk. Don't know where in real life we will be making or simulating making a turn on the sidewalk, but I'm pretty sure it's just the idea of executing a tight turn in the close quarters, I'm assuming. But now we're going to make that right turn. The guy in front of me, name is, well, he called himself Chuck. I think his real name is Joe. His channel is called, I think, Joe Goes Adventures or something like that. But he's here in his alter ego by the name of Chuck. All right, guys, like I said, getting a little jiggy with it. We're getting ready to go into, I think, what was the figure 8 here. But we're going to be just making some circles. Trying to be smart about it, keeping a little distance away from Chuck. So if he decides to stop in that turn, I will not be tempted to drop the bike. All right, guys, well executed. Like I said, getting a little bit more confident, getting a little jiggy with it. Starting to even feel like I'm getting into a groove here, when suddenly I've entered this turn here, got a little close to Chuck, almost rear-ended him and stamped on the brakes, and there goes Ruby. I'm out. All right, guys, so we got down to probably about 5 riders or so out of 15. Not bad, but next time. And here we are being circled by the guys that are leading. Down to 3 riders. Awesome stuff, guys. All right, guys, here we go. We're gonna have a talk now with Mario. What's yourself, man?
I'm Mario. It's my wife, Tanya.
These are folks are from Maryland also.
Guys, I went to school in Maryland, man, but what I want to talk...
Guys, I went to school in Maryland, man, but what I want to talk about was how impressive it was to watch this guy and his wife. That's, you know, it builds a bunch of confidence, you know, you can see, but there's something else that's special about this guy, man. What are you?
Well, I might ride motorcycles, for a living to an extent. So I get a little bit extra training.
Yeah.
And that helps obviously when I come out here.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean that this isn't necessary. Practice is still practice, and staying with it and being consistent is how you get better. I mean, as you can see, I didn't even win the slow challenge, the slow race
And
challenge.
I don't care about that. Man.
So I just say that to say, no matter what your level is,
Still.
there's always room for improvement. And even if you're not necessarily gonna improve more, that's how you maintain at least that proficiency and you don't lose it or regress in that skill.
Guys,
so
a lot
I
of us-
always enjoy doing that, especially with everybody as part of the Preload Nation.
Guys, this guy have done all of the exercises with his beautiful wife in the back. Say something.
I was scared, but I'm not scared so much no more.
See, I had to get her to trust and believe.
Exactly. But we saw no signs of the fear.
What I tell her all the time is, I got a certificate for this at home.
Yeah.
I'm a professional.
I do this for a living.
But she don't believe me.
I'm not gonna hear the
But
end
maybe
of it.
now she will.
Impressive, man. Mario and
Tanya.
Appreciate it. That was awesome stuff, man.
Thank
And
you.
it just,
Great as well.
it just inspired me to get out there more, man. And I have been practicing with my wife on the back. She's all on board.
And I don't know if I said this, but this was the first time that I did a course like this. Obviously, if we go riding, I'll do some things like within the 2 spaces of a parking lot when I'm parking or something. I'll still do that.
Right.
But going through the courses, it was good to get that experience of what it's like to do it with a passenger, and also for her to get the experience of what it feels like. So in the event we're out riding in the real world and something happens, that doesn't come as a shock or a surprise and lead to some type of motion that can make a situation get a little bit more tricky.
You heard that, guys? And that's what I've been promoting, man. If you're gonna have a passenger on the back of the motorcycle, it's important for them to know what to expect. Just in that old crap moment, they don't panic. You're in control. They have confidence in you. That's what this stuff is all about, man. Safety being a priority, guys. Always.
Absolutely.
All right, man. Appreciate it,
That's
Mario and
no
Tanya.
problem.
Awesome stuff.
Thank you.
All right, guys. We are here with Q.
The Rider.
What is the name of your channel, Q?
Riding and Wrenching. The biggest little YouTube channel on the entire interwebs.
This guy is also a pool shark, guys, but we're
Oh,
gonna
I'm a beast.
We're gonna test that at some
I
point.
want to be tested.
We're gonna test that at some point.
Yep.
But guy rides his ass off, man. What you rated yourself?
3.
A what? Come on, man.
A 6.
We shutting this down then. A what?
A
Not
6.
even no.
Oh,
yeah,
no, man.
Come on, man. Anyway, guys, man, great to come out, man, meet some folks, man. I've been watching these guys' channels, so the camaraderie is awesome. Great learning experience.
Yes, sir.
Come on out, guys. Pool of Georgia, man.
Yep, it's a lot of fun. It's a short ride. Practicing is fun. Practicing with other people is more fun.
Yep.
Then practice with Rich the Rider here. This brother can ride. Don't let the
dude,
smooth taste
amateur
fool
hour
you.
at the Apollo,
Don't
man.
let this. He's
Amateur
dipping
hour at
and
the
diving
Apollo.
that bike. It was beautiful. I was impressed. I'm like, man, is that Rob over here riding like that?
Whatever, man. All right, guys, we just finished the Robert Simmons Be the Boss of Your Motorcycle practice. I think they said it's 59. Was an awesome time. Didn't really drop the bike. Had one tip over on the left-hand side with Ruby. But for the most part, guys, not a bad day. This stuff is humbling. You always practice and think you got it down to a science. But one of the reasons that I come out to this class is so he can critique me and help me to get a little bit better on the motorcycle. And that's what this is all about, guys. All right, guys, Rich the Return Rider.